Jaya Nitya, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya
Jai
Jaya
Jai
Shri
Jai Shri Chaitanya,
Chaitanya, Jaya
Jai Nityananda,
Nityananda, Jai
Jai
Advaita
Advaita
Chandra, Jai
Chandra,
Gaura
Jaya
Bhakta
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Vrinda.
Can someone please read?
Can I read?
Please. Yeah.
After this, Lord Chaitanya and Rāmānanda Rai sat down together. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has spoken very highly of you, Lord Chaitanya informed him. So I have come to see you. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya considers me one of his devotees, Rāmānanda Rai replied. Therefore, he has kindly recommended that you see me. Rāmānanda Rai very much appreciated the Lord's touching a man of wealth. Generally, a king, governor, or any politician is always absorbed in thoughts of political affairs and pounds, shillings, pence. Therefore, such persons are avoided by sannyasis. Lord Chaitanya, however, knew Rāmānanda Rai to be a great devotee, and so he did not hesitate to touch and embrace him. Rāmānanda Rai was surprised by Lord Chaitanya's behavior, as he cited a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.8.4. Great personalities and sages appear in the homes of worldly men just to show them mercy.
Because, sannyasi would generally not meet a materialistic person. And here Ramananda Raya is, that's why he's feeling surprised how Lord Chaitanya is embracing me. But Lord Chaitanya knows Ramananda Raya is a pure devotee of the Lord. Ramananda Raya is an incarnation actually of Vishakha and Arjuna. And that's what it said. So he's a confidential devotee of the Lord, not an ordinary person.
The Vishakha Sakhi, right?
Yeah.
Lalita Vishakha, so Vishakha Sakhi.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because Lord Chaitanya has come in the male form, so all the Vrajvasis, now he's come as a sannyasi, how will they
Yes.
associate with him?
Yes.
So that's why they also take up the male form, so they can associate with him.
Yeah, okay. Lord Chaitanya's special treatment of Rāmānanda Rai indicated that although Rāmānanda Rai was born in a non-Brahmanical family, he was far, far advanced in spiritual knowledge and activity. Therefore, he was more respectable than one who simply happens to be born in a Brahmanical family. Although Rāmānanda, out of his meek and gentle nature, considered himself to be born in a lower Shudra family. Lord Chaitanya nonetheless considered him to be situated in the highest transcendental stage of devotion. Devotees never advertise themselves as great, but the Lord is very eager to advertise the glory of his devotees. After meeting for the first time that morning on the bank of Godavari, Rāmānanda Rai and Lord Chaitanya separated with the understanding that Rāmānanda Rai would come in the evening to see the Lord.
So we can see that it's not based on birth. Here, Ramananda Rai, he's not born in a Brahmana family. Lord Chaitanya is born in Brahmana family. He's a sannyasi. So, but Lord Chaitanya is very eager to meet Ramananda Rai. So anyone can take up devotional service. Not that somebody has to be born in a particular family and only then he can take up devotional service or become a pure devotee of the Lord. No, anyone. Yeah.
That evening, after the Lord had taken his bath and seated himself, Rāmānanda Rai came to see him with a servant. He offered his respect and sat down before the Lord. Before Rāmānanda Rai could even ask the Lord a question about the advancement of spiritual knowledge, the Lord said, "Please quote some verses from the scriptures about the ultimate goal of human life."
So we can see
Sri
the Lord. I'm sorry, just one thing.
Yeah.
Usually, people would ask the Lord no questions. Sanatan Goswami questioned the Lord, asked him, "Why am I suffering? Who am I?" But here, Lord Chaitanya is putting questions to Rāmānanda. This is how kind the Lord is, how compassionate He is, because He wants to show, oh, see, my devotee has more knowledge than me. Of course, nobody can have more knowledge than Lord Chaitanya. But Rāmānanda, he wants to show the glories of Rāmānanda Raya. Like Krishna wanted to show the glories of Bhishma Dev. Krishna could have very well answered Yudhishthir Maharaj. He could have very well pacified Yudhishthir Maharaj's heart after the war. But he wanted to show the world how great a devotee Bhishma Dev is.
Sri Ramanand Rai at once replied, "A person who is sincere in performing his occupational duty will gradually develop a sense of God consciousness." In this connection, he quoted a verse from the Vishnu Puran 3.8.9, which states that one worships the Supreme Lord by following the principles of one's occupational duty, and that there is no alternative for satisfying him. The purport is that human life is meant for understanding one's relationship with the Supreme Lord and acting in that relationship. Any human being can do this by dovetailing himself in the service of the Lord while discharging his prescribed duties. For this purpose, human society is divided into 4 classes: the intellectuals, Brahmanas, the administrators, Kshatriyas, the merchants, Vaishyas, and the laborers, Shudras. For each class, there are prescribed rules and regulations, as well as occupational functions. The prescribed duties and qualities of the prescribed, the prescribed
The
qualities, 4 classes are described in the Bhagavad Gita, 18.41 to 44. A civilized society should be organized so that people follow the prescribed rules and regulations for their particular class. At the same time, for spiritual advancement, they should follow the 4 stages of ashram, namely student life, brahmacharya, householder's life, grihastha, retired life, vanaprastha, and renounced life, sannyas.
So what is this human life given to us for?
Go back to Godhead.
Yes. Understanding our relationship with Krishna and act in that relationship. This is the reason we are given this human life. We have gotten this body after 8,400,000 species. So it's a very important life that we have been given, and it is given to us to understand our relationship with Krishna and to act in that relationship. And Prabhupada is saying any human being can do this by dovetailing himself in the service of the Lord while discharging his prescribed duties. So Rāmānanda Raya is first saying that do the Varna Sharma Dharma. Because Lord Chaitanya is asking him that what is the goal of life? Now, Lord Chaitanya is putting the questions to Rāmānanda Raya, saying, what is the goal of life? So Rāmānanda Raya first, we can see how gradually Lord Chaitanya tell him go deeper, deeper. So first thing Rāmānanda Raya is saying, do the duty. Whatever occupational duty we have, do that. With that, gradually we'll become God conscious. And so he's quoting from Vishnu Puran, which is saying that human life is there to understand actually our relationship with Krishna, to act in that relationship. And we can do that while discharging our prescribed duty. Just as Krishna tells to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, you do your duty. Arjuna wanted to give up his duty. Krishna saying, no, you do your duty, but do it for my pleasure. So here, Rāmānanda Raya is saying that so he's beginning with that, doing the Varna Sharma Dharma, doing our duties for the pleasure of Krishna. Not only stopping and doing our duty, because just doing our duties, if we don't engage in Krishna consciousness, Bhagavatam says, then what was the use of this human life? So Bhagavatam is saying, yeah, do your duties, but do it for the pleasure of Krishna. So Rāmānanda Rāya is beginning with that.
Rāmānanda Rāya stated that those who strictly follow the rules and regulations of these 8 social divisions can actually satisfy the Supreme Lord. And one who does not follow them certainly spoils this human form of life and glides down towards hell. One can peacefully achieve the goal of human life simply by following the rules and regulations which apply to oneself. The character of a particular person develops when he follows the regulative principles in accordance with his birth, association, and education. The division of society are so designed that many people with different characteristics can be regulated under those divisions for the peaceful administration of society and for spiritual advancement as well. The social class can be further characterized as follow. Number one who aim to understand the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, and who has thus devoted himself to learning the Vedas and similar literature is called a Brahmin. Number two, a person whose occupation involves displaying force and administering the government is called a Kshatriya. Number three, one who engaged in agriculture, herding cows, and doing business is called a Vaishya. Fourth, one who has no special knowledge but is satisfied by serving the other 3 classes is called a Shudra. If one faithfully discharges his prescribed duties, he is sure to advance towards perfection. Thus, regulated life is the source of perfection for everyone. One who leads a regulated life centered around devotional service to the Lord attains perfection. Otherwise, such a regulated life is simply a useless waste of time.
So Krishna has created the ashram, varnas, and ashram. He's divided the society as such, so we can live peacefully according to our nature. We can be occupied in work based on our own nature. Each of us has a nature, some gunas. We may be more inclined to a particular kind of activity. So this is the reason Krishna has created the Varna Sharma society. And then, of course, the point is that doing the duty, but for the satisfaction of Krishna. Otherwise, then it's just simply waste of time. Bhagavatam says that. So should we stop here for today and we continue tomorrow?
Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much. Lord Caitanya, Lord Caitanya ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta ki jai.